朋友们，大家好，欢迎收看美国之音的时事大家谈，我是郑玉文。就在美中官员针对疫情的唇枪舌剑在社交媒体上越演越烈时，一家总部设在美国纽约的非盈利新闻平台 ProPublica 在最近报道，中国政府在推特上建立起庞大的宣传机器，通过上万个僵尸账号在传播与中共官媒和官方相呼应的信息和评论。那么今天在节目当中，我们就为您邀请撰写这篇调查报道的记者 Jeff 高来为大家介绍有关情况。高先生您好，非常感谢您接受美国之音的访问。那么您追踪调查超过1万个在推特上与中国相关的可疑账号，您是怎么找到这些账号的？那么他们具有什么样的特点呢？
Sure. So the accounts I started tracking back in August 2019. I was casually reading sort of breaking news on Twitter about the Hong Kong protests and found some strange accounts that just didn't look real. And then, right after that, the Twitter ban came down and they released data on a bunch of accounts. And I used sort of, what I'd seen on Twitter and also the data that they released to gather clues and to find networks of accounts online that were doing similar behavior.
您不仅是发现了这些账号，您还追查到了一家设在北京的互联网行销公司，是这些账号的幕后推手。那么这家公司是怎么做到的呢？
Sure. And I should also stress that the evidence tying these campaigns to this particular company is circumstantial, but we've done a lot of research about these marketing companies and how they work on behalf of government agencies. And so, the accounts are the ones that we found, their activities were very closely synced with the company. The company has multiple Chinese state media clients, in particular a contract with China News Service. And the posts that this network made essentially parroted Chinese government talking points. For example, in newspaper editorials or by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. So we used sort of those specific clues to tie them all together. And the government seems to have multiple departments that sort of do similar work. And so I think, this is not the only company that could possibly be doing this type of work. And there's probably a lot more internet marketing firms out there that compete for business, essentially.
您向推特公司提出了您的调查结果，那么推特对此有什么样的反应吗？
Yeah, so they do take down these accounts from time to time. And, in the course of my research, I would definitely find networks that they would take down, and it made my research a little bit more difficult. And so, I think they do take some steps to limit fake activity on their platform. But their approach, I think, could be strengthened a little bit more. I think when you do fake boosting for commercial purposes and political purposes, the mindset is a little bit different, right? Twitter often seeks to increase the costs of fake boosting for commercial purposes to the point that people who do it for profit don't do it anymore. But when it comes to political activity, I think the bar is much higher to discourage these actors from acting.
我们知道，美国共和党参议员本萨斯还有共和党的众议员加拉格尔，他们要求推特公司删除中共的官方账号，禁止中共官员利用推特来散布有关病毒的假消息。那么中国官方呢称美方这样的做法是封号禁言，是可耻的一招。您怎么看中国当局在推特上的宣传？这个中共的大外宣在推特上的大外宣能够走多远呢？
In terms of whether we should ban people for political affiliations or beliefs, I think that's something that certainly the platforms have been something that the platforms have been shy to do. In terms of sort of American political traditions of free speech, I think it's something that legislators and regulators would have to think very hard about. That said, in terms of how far these influence campaigns can go, I think we're just really at the beginnings of seeing these campaigns evolve. at the very beginning of my research, I found essentially these account networks. And towards the end of it, as I was tracking them, I found other influence tactics. For example, companies would reach out to prominent people on Chinese-speaking Twitter and pay them to make favorable posts. And so, this is sort of all evolving. It's China is a little bit later to the scene as compared to, for example, Russia. And so they're trying to figure out their tactics as well.
最后想请教您，封闭这些中共官员的推特账号合法吗？那它能不能有效的来应对中共的大外宣？美国政府、美国国会又能做些什么呢？
Sure. I would say the platforms have mostly focused on banning fake behaviors rather than affiliations or speech content, except for instances like, threats and hate speech. Platforms have also banned political ads, and Twitter itself, I think, has banned ads from state broadcasters as well. So, I think it's important, and this is a personal opinion, but I think it's important to just be more sort of detailed with that approach, because I think we all see sort of on Chinese domestic platforms sort of the very harsh and broad approach that they take, and I don't think it's something that we would want to duplicate here. So I hope that platforms continue to take action on this, and I'll be doing more research as well.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Mr. Kao. Thank you for speaking to us and sharing with us about your report. Thank you very much, and
Great.
take
Thank
care.
You so much. Great. Talk soon.
那么以上就是这一节的美国之音时事大家谈节目，非常感谢您的收听和收看，我是郑玉文，我们下次节目再会。